Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this matched set, please reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability details of this 2018 model year matched set of 5 pieces, of which only 55 sets were made. So what we're looking at here is one of the most notable and also most unusual of the Omega Olympic Series collections. Now, many of those watches have been issued as one-offs or standalone limited editions, and Omega has been the official Olympic timer since 1932. But circumstances surrounding the 2020 Tokyo Olympics made this set one of the most unconventionally collectible Omega Series ever issued in connection with the games. Of course, the Tokyo Olympics went viral in the worst possible way, and they were not held until 2021, but in anticipation of those Olympic Games, Omega issued 55 matched sets of 5 steel and gold Speedmaster Professionals, and we have one of those matched sets right here. Now, 55 examples times 5, that's 275 pieces that were made with matching serial numbers among those 55 sets. Any given set of 5 will feature matching serial numbers on the watch. So all of these are 24 of 55. Separately, you could have bought the watches individually, and 10,375 were made in total, but they were not available as matched sets. And this matched set comes with a monstrous boxed set. The box is huge. It includes separate buckles, alligator leather straps, strap tools, literature. Truly an experience. Not since the Missions collection have we seen a boxed set of Omega Speedmasters this collectible and memorable. And each one of these watches represents one of the colors of the Olympic rings, themselves representing the 5 regions: Asia, Americas, Africa, Oceania, and Europe. And so we have the 5 for the 5 regions, and each one of them additionally is a nod and a wink to a previously existing Omega Speedmaster model. And I'm going to note what those models are as I go through these watches here, but I'm also going to tell you when I reviewed the predecessor model so you can go see the watch to which each of these designs actually refers. So why don't we start from the left and work our way to the right. And by the way, these are only being sold as a set, so if you're in deep. Now, steel, 42 millimeters in diameter, caliber 1861 Omega Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch, sapphire crystal. The watches are 14 millimeters thick. They are 48 lug to lug, and then if you include the end links, the bracelet, 54 from end link to end link, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And I'm going to throw this watch on my wrist. I'm going to show you each one on the wrist because, properly speaking, you deserve to know exactly what you're getting and how it looks, but also so you can size these up, as these are fairly large watches. You can see my 16 centimeter circumference wrist wears them pretty well. No real issues there, quite comfortable. I cannot object in any way to the way this feels. I think you could probably wear this on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. Certainly if you put it on the strap that comes with it. Each one of these has a separate strap built just for it and color matched to it. So you could probably wear this watch on a 14 centimeter circumference wrist on its matching alligator leather strap. Now this timepiece right here references what's known as the Gemini 4 model. So if you want to see my review of the Gemini 4, of course, that refers to the Gemini 4 NASA mission. Remember, Mercury was one, Gemini, the twins, a 2-man crew, and then Apollo was the 3-man crew. Well, I reviewed the Gemini 4 on March 2nd, 2021. So if you go on our channel, you search for that, you'll find my review of the watch that inspired the design of this one. Now you can see it's very unusual to have a sapphire crystal on a moon watch without also having a sapphire display back. Each one of these features a Tokyo 2020 case back, and you can see the individual edition number right there. They are loomed. They're 50 meters water resistant, but push down crown, so don't take them swimming. These are all upscale dials, as you can see, different finishes, yes, but also the use of applique indices and applique Omega logo rather than the printed features of a typical moon watch. We have the clasp, which is a nice piece as it gives you a little bit of flexibility. There's a slide in, slide out, about 9.6 millimeter adjustable micro adjustment for sizing. It's not a dive extension, but it's nice if you want to fine-tune your fit. Now you can see removable links are fixed in place using screws. Inside, we have the Omega caliber 1861, old school Lemania based on the Lemania 1873 of Bausch. This is a manual wind, 27 millimeters in diameter, 3 hertz, 18 joules, 48-hour manual wind power reserve, a very crisp and worthwhile cam and lateral clutch. And while you could definitely say that the cam-based moon watches of the late 60s, 70s, 80s, and I'd say most of the 90s felt like cam chronos today, with modern technology, recently built cam-based Lemania moon watches are super crisp. There's no loss of tactile quality as you operate these. Taking a quick look here, this is quite obviously inspired by the famed early 2000s Mitsukoshi, and you can see my review of the Japanese domestic market. It was actually a retailer exclusive Japanese domestic market Mitsukoshi Speedmaster. I shot that one on November 1st of 2022, so go back and see what that's all about. This is a very cool look because the Mitsukoshi has been described as the most, how should we put this off? How should we describe this? The most knocked off and user modded Omega Speedmaster professional design of all time. So there are a lot of Speedmaster Pros that have been modded with aftermarket parts to look like the Mitsukoshi. This one's the real deal, as everything here is Omega factory, dimensionally, mechanically exactly the same as the blue model you just saw. It's also very similar in aesthetic to the Mitsukoshi. We have those applique features on the dial, a very cool traditional panda aesthetic. The watch has the same clasp, same bracelet. Taking a quick look on the wrist, it's got the same fit, but it's got a different aesthetic. This is going to be probably the most classical and I think generally admired design of these 5 because the Panda Chrono is just so charismatic regardless of which brand. And you can see that we do have that incredible vaulted sapphire that's kind of designed to look like the Hesalite, but for terrestrial use, a lot more scratch resistant than the Hesalite. Not what NASA would use, but definitely what you want on a luxury quality watch at ground level. In terms of these tachymetric scales, all of them are anodized aluminum. So they have that very traditional anodized aluminum look that Omega's actually revisiting now, taking some models that were previously ceramic inserts and then going back to anodized aluminum on next generation variants because the anodized aluminum just has a better heritage look to it. So taking a look here, okay, the red is the one for which I can honestly say I have no precedent review. This model is based on a variant that was actually an automatic and a moon phase in a 44.25 millimeter case that came out in 2016. That was the Speedmaster coaxial chronometer with moon phase, and that was a cool watch, but it was a much bigger watch, and not everyone is down with the complications above and beyond the chronograph. This is a much more classically beautiful look, but it does feature the combination of steel, the red bezel, and the granular, very fine grained dial design that debuted on that watch in 2016. Now, for those who want to look it up, that model was the 304.93.44.52.99.001, and it is that bigger coaxial chronometer chronograph look that you would associate with the case size you'll find on something like a Dark Side of the Moon, but in steel with a moon phase. So throwing this on the wrist, this might be the one that I sort of like best. It's a really good-looking watch that's extremely versatile, and it doesn't jump out as a special edition, as a Olympic edition, as a nod and a wink to anything that comes before. It's just a very attractive Speedmaster professional that has a universally appealing combination of a gray dial and a red bezel. And it is a gray dial. It's not white, it's not silver. It's got that lovely sort of media blast gray that we associate with the platinum-dialed Rolex Yachtmasters. So this is an awesome piece, and probably my favorite aesthetically of the group. Tech specs and size are identical. This watch is actually based on a sister reference of the coaxial chronometer that inspired this. So the precedent watches here were both launched at Basel 2016. This one was based on the reference 304.63.44.52.02.001. And if you want to see my review of that watch, I've actually done two in the past. One was for Govberg, when I was doing videos for Govberg as our sister brand, and another one went on the Watchbox channel. But you can go back and you can find that precedent review. January 24th, 2019, you can see what I said about the automatic moon phase 44 1/4 version of this aesthetic. But I think this works a little bit better. Just in general, less size often appeals more, and so the classic no-date moon watch with the elements of gold here, and I will emphasize these are Sedna red gold elements, not yellow gold. They work so well on the dial, the chapter rings, the hands, the applique indices. The dial is a sort of, I would say it's a transitional shade between anthracite and silver, and you can see it has a very pronounced sunburst with a little bit of a downward inflection on the outboard track. All of these feature dipped tracks outboard. You can see that's a universal feature of the dial contours, but you can also see that the standard versions have the conventional dished registers of a standard moonwatch, whereas the two-tone versions feature solid gold chapter rings that match the gold of the bezel and the crowns. So this is a really cool piece, and the use of an anodized aluminum green bezel insert means it's really neck and neck for me between these two. I think depending on the situation, how I'm feeling and what I'm wearing, I could go either way. I think this might be a little bit more versatile for the lack of gold, but there's no question that this is a lot richer. And just to confirm, as you can see, every single one of these is 24 of 55. These are a matched set. Every single one has the same series. Great looking watch, same size as the others, but at the same time, it's a very punchy combination of colors. And it's really not two-tone, it's tri-tone, because you've got the green, you've got the gold, and you've got the steel, and actually maybe even four tones. As you can see, that dial is distinctly darker than the stainless steel, which is a brighter and whiter kind of metallic shine. All right, this, for sheer visual punch, might be the standout of the group. So if you want something that's going to jump off the wrist, let me grab a glove to polish off the fingerprints here. But what we've got here is a combination of Cornish colors. So we've got yellow, gold, and black, and boy, does this thing pop. Now, this watch right here is designed to emulate the Apollo 15, a 35th anniversary model, which I reviewed on December 9th, 2019. Go check that out. That's the reference 3366.51.00. This watch is a direct callback to that one, and it is very true to its source material. Again, Tokyo 2020 case back. We've got the bracelet. We've got the slider inside the bracelet. We've got a great look on the wrist. I think this is one that is so punchy, you might actually want to put it on the alligator leather strap, because I think you would get an aesthetic that is second to none in elegance. Remember, all these come with an alligator leather strap with a separate clasp and a strap tool to swap out the bracelets and the straps. So you get a lot of kit. The boxed set for these is huge. It's a steamer trunk. And remember, they're only being sold together. So if you want one, in for a penny, in for a pound. These are 5 of a kind, and they refer to one of the most unconventional episodes in Olympic history, and certainly the longest delay between the release of an Omega Olympic edition and the actual games. Remember, this set came out in 2018, and it was thought the games would be held in 2020, but they turned out to be 2021 because they were the Cove Olympics. Well, again, that is one heck of a story, and every single one of these is a conversation piece. This strikes me as the kind of thing that's probably going to sell to a super fan of Speedmasters out of Singapore or Japan, but hey, Oceania, Africa, Europe, Americas, surprise me. Jump out and seize the opportunity, because you won't get another like this. Reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details of this boxed and matched set of 55 pieces times 5.